Welcome back to Oregon News. For most people, tax day means going out to the post office and mailing tax reports.
But for members of the Tea Party, tax day meant going out to the streets. Here's Kat Walcott with the report.
Of 27 big cities across the state. They even protested here in Eugene, a city that is well known for being extremely liberal.
Well, when I first heard that there was a large Tea Party movement in the Eugene area, I was frankly surprised because Eugene has this reputation for being really progressive, which it is.
The Tea Party, which stands for Taxed Enough Already, asserts itself as a bipartisan movement.
It's not a Republican thing, it's not a Democrat thing. It's really, it's nonpartisan. It's just whoever supports limited government and responsible taxation. I'd say that generally tends to be the independents or the Republicans, but that's certainly not to say that there aren't some Democrats out there who have smaller government in mind.
Dennis Corbin, who attended last Thursday's rally, also stays away from affiliating to a certain party or candidate.
Not to support any one person, but to support the ideology that the government absolutely needs to change and take responsibility for its actions.
It's not easy being a Tea Party member in Eugene, but that doesn't stop Greg Campbell from voicing his opinion.
People may not like, what you have to say, but the fact is that this is what America's all about.
Nationally, the Tea Party has come under fire for inappropriate behavior at several of its rallies. These occurrences prompted rally organizers to urge participants to be respectful, avoid conflict, and also not to drink beforehand. Though there were many fiery signs, the Eugene Tea Party protest went without incident. This is Kat Walcott, Oregon News.
The Eugene Tea Party does not hold regular meetings, but it is planning on holding another protest for the 4th of July.
With the Oregon primaries less than a month away, we thought we'd give you a closer look at the main candidates for governor. Political correspondent Joe Burns has the story.
The main position up for grabs in the 2010 Oregon primaries is the job for governor, with 2 Democratic candidates and 3 Maine Republicans vying for their party's nominations. Let's take a look at the candidates and some of their positions.
On the Democratic side, there is John Kitzhaber, former Oregon governor from 1994 to 2002. On education, Kitzhaber proposes new testing guidelines for schools as well as changing the standards already in place. Specifically, he wants to repeal the No Child Left Behind Act. Kitzhaber also is focused on a centrist approach for dealing with the economy and other issues, hoping to reach across the aisle to get things done. The other Democratic candidate is Bill Bradbury, the former Oregon Secretary of State. Bradbury has stressed the importance of education, making it his #1 priority. He also wants to focus on creating the Bank of Oregon, which would support small and medium-sized businesses instead of putting money into big banks, which Bradbury vehemently opposes. On the Republican side, there is Chris Dudley, former NBA player and Portland Trailblazer. Dudley has put his Jobs First plan as his top issue, focusing on lowering the extremely high unemployment rate here in Oregon by taking job creation power from the government and giving it back to the people. He also supports decreasing taxes and increasing tax deductions for small businesses. Next is Alan Alley, former Deputy Chief of Staff for Oregon Governor Ted Kulingoski. Alley also wants to focus on job creation primarily in the private sector. Alley also makes the point of investing in energy infrastructure, focusing on renewable energy as well as natural gas, and having Oregon become energy independent. The last of the main 3 Republican candidates is John Lim, former legislator and state senator. Lim proposes a constitutional spending limit that would link a cap on state spending to the growth rate of Oregon's population. Lim also proposes bridging the urban and rural divide. To do so, Lim wants to create more state offices in central and southern Oregon, which he says will not increase the governor's budget. Other Republican nominees on the primary ballot include Bill Sizemore, Clark Colvin, William Ames Curtright, Bob Forthen, Darren Carr, and Rex Watkins. Democrat Roger Obrist and progressive Jerry Wilson are also on the ballot. Joe Burns, reporting for Oregon News.
Ballots will be mailed out on April 30th. If you have not received yours by May 5th, call the Lane County Elections Department.
A University of Oregon basketball arena is rising, and a new center for student athletes in the baseball stadium are complete. But the building boom for the Ducks is not nearly over. Reporter Jillian Kay has the story.
The University of Oregon prides itself on athletic achievement. Since the Casanova Center opened in 1991, Oregon has dropped wrestling but added baseball along with 3 women's sports, soccer, lacrosse, and team stunts and gymnastics. Now, sports staff offices are becoming overly crowded, and the university is looking into building new football offices funded by private donors.
Right now, we literally have people who are in what used to be closets.
Some say the football offices, likely to be built next to or near the Casanova Center in Autzen Stadium, are necessary for university growth. But it really depends on whom you ask. U of O professor Jim Earle has a different take on the rapid athletic construction.
Like almost all state universities, we've decided to turn sports into our primary marketing tool. If I were over there and I was a coach, I would be as happy as a clam. But I'm over here trying to carry out the intellectual enterprise.
You know, we're outgrowing the footprint of the University of Oregon, and so that's really a top priority all across campuses, trying to find additional space and making sure that it's good quality space for our students and our faculty members.
For Oregon News, I'm Jillian Kay.
Now it's time for Elliot Nathan with sports. Elliot, who's going to be our next quarterback?
Well, Grace, that's a great question. After a turbulent offseason, the Oregon football team is back to work. With the annual spring game just a week away, the quarterback competition is heating up.
With the loss of all Pac-10 quarterback Jeremiah Masoli, two quarterbacks are fighting for one spot this fall. Sophomore Darren Thomas and senior Nate Costa are working off each other so far.
I think that's just natural. That's what happens. Not something we really talk about, which is something happens. And then mentally, we also talk about different coverages and different blitzes that we saw just to help each other out.
Costa breaks free and shows some moves of his own as Chip Kelly works with the youngin' Darren Thomas. Thomas takes the advice and scrambles free for a nice first down run. Head coach Chip Kelly talked about the quarterback competition.
It's about getting them quality reps, and we put them in a lot of different situations. We were in the red zone today. We had a third down deal today. We were in some team situation. We played some green ball and moved the ball. So it's just trying to get them exposed to everything, and they're both getting better each day. But we're still a ways away from having to play a game with them.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get better every day because that's my main thing. Most people come in as a competition, but we're just trying to get better each day. Me, I'm working on myself, getting myself better.
Costa, who some say has an early lead in the competition, quiets his critics.
I'm back full. I've been back full for a while. Out here every day, I'm just kind of reiterating that and just getting the timing down with my teammates. Darren's looking great out there. Yeah. Just an awesome athlete, and you see him running around and making people miss and stuff, and he's got a live arm, and he's making good reads, so he continues to progress and he continues to get better.
But everybody can get better every day, and that's our approach every day. You come out here and get a little bit better. If you walk off the field a little bit better than when you walked on, you did your job, and that's what it's all about. Is it's a process. We're 6 practices in. We'll continue to work on the little things just to get better and better.
Well, Michael James looks to be at his best as he takes it 55 yards for the score.
As the Oregon men's basketball team continues their coaching search, 2 more Ducks are done waiting around. Sophomore guard Matt Humphreys and forward Josh Criddle have decided to transfer. Humphrey and Criddle, who played on the same AAU team and are from Illinois, have not indicated where they plan to transfer to. Drew Wiley, who also left the program recently, said he will enroll at Boise State University. Well, after Portland stole a victory on the road to open the playoff series, the Phoenix Suns have found some sweet revenge. Jason Richardson scored 42 points and added 8 rebounds as the Suns knocked off the Blazers 108-89. Steve Nash chipped in 13 points and 10 assists as Phoenix took a 2-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. Portland was led offensively by LaMarcus Aldridge, who scored 17 points and grabbed 7 rebounds.
When we return, we'll look at a local waffle place that offers its goods for a very special price.
Join us for more Oregon news after the break.